The following is a presentation of USA Swimming Productions.
And there's a beautiful shot of the Austin, Texas Swim Center. This is Deck Pass Live, day 2. We have the wrap of finals tonight, and a lot happened, real exciting. So I'm your host, Vernon Hanson, and welcome back to Austin, Texas, the first stop of the Tier Pro Series here in Austin. So we have a lot to show you, a bunch of highlights. We got some special guests, so it's a jam-packed show. Let's get right into it. We'll start with our first highlight. It was a 100-meter freestyle. And no surprise here, but it was a rookie coming out, Nathan Adrian. By no means is this man a rookie. He's done this time and time again. Coming out on top, you can see in the middle of your screen, but there is a rookie in the race. Daniel Kruger, a soon-to-be freshman here at the University of Texas, and Ryan Held, who we all fell in love with in 2016. The top 3 guys, all 3 of them under 50 seconds. And there's, the way Nathan finishes every race with authority and the win. Nice job, Nathan. And then our next final. Oh yeah, and here's our results. You can see the top 3 guys all under 50 seconds. And for January, and Nathan coming off of altitude like that, that's a really good swim for him. So it's very exciting. But here you go. Here's the 100-meter backstroke. This is the 50 wall. A couple veterans in the race. You have Matt Grevers, Ryan Murphy, and Jacob Hebley right there in the middle of your screen, and you can see Grevers in the back, black cap at the bottom of your screen with those long arms that really came into play here towards the end of the race. Ryan really starting to pick up his speed. You can see he's in the middle. He's on the left. Matt's on the right. Matt's coming in with those big hands. Look at that, touching the wall. We met him last night. You know how tall he is, and he uses that length like that at the end of the race. You don't want to be close to Matt Grevers towards the end of 100 backstroke. So, and here are your results: 53.7 for Matt Grevers. But we'll just come back right from commercial in a little bit. I got a special guest, Cullen Jones, or should I say the Cullen Jones, one of my favorite guys in the sport of swimming right now, a huge advocate and philanthropist. So we'll talk to him next.
Is a leading organization. It is an organization that defies all odds.
Hey, this is Vernon Hanson. We're back here in Austin, Texas, and I've got one of my favorite friends, Cullen Jones. How you doing, buddy?
I'm
Good to see
great.
you. Yeah.
Happy to be back in Austin.
Yes.
I love it here.
This is a great town. I live here, but you're always coming back. Yeah. So, man, before we talk about in the pool, let's talk a little bit about out the pool. You're finishing your degree.
Yes.
You got married in May.
I did. You hit all the highlights. I literally just got off the plane, so I'm
okay.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
And not in the air. So, yeah, things are going well. School's going well. I finish in May. I cannot explain to you how excited I am.
I bet, yeah.
11-year break. It's been great, so I'm excited about May.
Now, how's training going, bud?
Training's going well. We watched.
Where are we training?
I am training at NC State.
Oh, nice.
And I get to watch Ryan Held and Jason Russ, and they always talk a lot of smack to me. And it keeps me fired up every single time that I'm in practice. I've got these young guys always trying to beat the veterans, so it's a lot of fun. That's
awesome, man. Well, I think one of the biggest things for you is you're in that part of your career where you can really use that experience and maturity. So you just play mind games with these guys in practice.
All the time.
Okay, good.
All
I was
the
like,
time.
if you
All
didn't, we
the
need to talk, right?
No. I'm the old guy, so I've got to play those mind games.
Now, is that your nickname, the old guy? Or
they probably don't tell me that to my face, but yes.
it's better than
yes.
Godfather. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
You know what? I like Godfather.
All right, okay.
Godfather.
Hey, I'm a nickname kind of guy, but I like that. That's good, man. Cool. Now, let's talk a little bit about this format. We had a chance during the show to kind of talk about these 50 shootouts.
Yep.
We got the mixed medley relays. We got the swim squads. What do you think about all that, man?
I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to the sport. I'm really excited to especially for the 50, to be able to race more than once and actually more than twice, to have prelims and finals and to be able to do that so often. It's done it in other meets. This is done very well. So to bring it stateside, I think it's a great idea.
Now, you've done that format before,
I
right?
have. I swam in the Mare Nostrum swim meets.
Yeah.
So I've done the shootout. And you
so
get
now,
tired.
now
you
let's
get
talk.
tired on the
let's
third
talk.
round.
Let's talk strategy a little bit, okay? So like when we talk about strategy here, are you giving 100% to make sure you make it to the second round, or is this like?
You got to kind of think about it like trials.
I'm a breaststroker that never would ever be a part of this, so I want to know.
I've seen you race. You know, at trials, prelims, you can't go all the way. You can't go 100%. So it's kind of the same thing. But in the 50, we get to rest a little bit, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, you sprinters, you need rest all the time.
You need a lot of
all right, let's talk about this weekend, man.
Yes.
So we're here in Austin. What are we doing this weekend, bud?
Yes, I'm here for Swim 1922. It is the partnership between USA Swimming Foundation, USA Swimming, I'm sorry, and the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Cool.
I'm very, very excited. I was in Indianapolis. They were a title sponsor for it, and for the World Juniors, when you have the World Junior team coming up and hearing USA, USA, and you look up and all you see is blue and gold and these ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho, and they're screaming. I mean, I think that's what we do best. When we're behind the block, we hear that USA, we swim faster. So for us to have this sorority come in and really put their foot forward and understanding how important it is to learn how to swim, and then we got them in the water. These ladies are, accomplishing these amazing feats of getting under the water, breaking the stereotype, which I think is amazing. I always say it's never too late, and these ladies prove it.
Well, and Cullen, you got into the sport a little bit later, and then you made your mark, and you continue to make your mark on this sport, man. I think it just kind of shows everything that you do for this. And this event's when now?
It is tomorrow at the Austin Swim Club between 1 and 3. We're going to do a meet and greet. Ladies are going to get in the water again, breaking more barriers. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, those events are huge, man. And you're just one of those impact players. I've been a part of teams that you've been on, and you've always made that kind of impact. So, hey, man, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your time in Austin, man. Get some barbecue.
Do you know it? Oh, barbecue. Yes, yes.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we got some more highlights coming up next. We'll cut to break here, but we'll get some highlights going for you in a little bit.
Feels like we're on the edge right now. I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down. All these voices in my head get loud. I wish that I could shut them out. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down.
Yeah. I guess I'm a disappointment. Doing everything I can, I don't wanna make you disappointed. Things annoy you. I just wanna make you feel like everything I ever do was never trying to make an issue for you. But I guess the more you thought about everything, you were never even wrong in the first place, right? Yeah, I'ma just ignore you, walking towards you. With my head down, looking at the ground, I'm embarrassed for you. Paranoia. What did I do wrong this time? That's parents for you. Very loyal. Should have had my back, but you put a knife in my hands. What else should I carry for you? I care for you, but the edge right now. I wish that I could say I'm proud. Sorry that I let you down.
Watch this. I don't care. Let's do it.
Cut this close.
And we're back, guys, here in Austin, Texas. Another beautiful shot of this pool. And highlights, we're not going to go to highlights. We're going to go to the highlight, Ryan Murphy. 100 backstroke tonight. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a little bit about the format. How are you feeling right now in your training, man, and where you're at in the season?
I'm pretty tired. This is definitely like a first meet of the season type feel. We wanted to come in, just kind of take our training right into the meet. And if you look around at the Cal guys, like you kind of notice that. So just some tough, honest racing here. I think we're in a good spot to move forward for the rest of the season.
And you know, one of the things I want to talk to, because there was a bunch of kids in the stands, a bunch of age group swimmers that are watching the Deck Pass Live. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about how important that is to learn how to swim tired and what that means. Because you know, you learn how to do it in college, but if you can learn at a club level, because everybody wants to rest and go a best time every time they swim. But how important is your approach to something like this for, let's say, U.S. Nationals and Pan Pacs at the end of the summer?
Yeah, I think it's super important. You know, the last half of your race, you're going to be hurting most of the time, whether you're rested or not rested. So the better you could get at swimming tired, the better you're going to be able to finish your races at the end of the season. So, you know, you got to get used to it early on.
Yeah, and I think that you really, I think it's that toughness, right? Like you got to learn how to keep doing that kind of stuff. And I'm sure Coach Durden's like, I'm going to see how hard I can push you, and then you kind of push back, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for, you know, pushing yourself to the limit in practice and then coming here, not necessarily feeling your best and getting up and, you know, trying to compete with all these guys.
And then I want to talk a little bit about strategy. You know, you coming off the prelim swim, it is kind of a cruise, get ready for the final. Not necessarily talking about the final, but let's talk about the changes that you tried to make between prelims and finals, and what were they?
Yeah, so 100 back, you know, in prelims, I was really just trying to build throughout the race, just working on changing speeds throughout the 50. Whereas finals, you know, you don't have as much time to kind of settle into the race. So, you know, there it's kind of like 4 or 5 strokes to set my body position, set my stroke, and then it's just kind of like rip it from there. So that's, you know, that was the strategy between prelims and finals in the 100.
And then we're going to continue this strategy conversation with this Tier Pro Series shootout tomorrow night with the 50. Yeah. What have you ever done anything with that format before? Have you ever done that before? Or now, are you excited about it, or is it something that you're like?
Yeah, so I actually have to leave, so I'm not going to be here tomorrow. But it's a really interesting concept. You know, we've always done that for 50 freestyle, and we've never done it for stroke, and that's something that I've always pushed for. It's like why do we only do it for 50 freestyle? Like,
now, are you always going to leave, or are you going to come back? I mean, this isn't the first. This is the first stop of 6, right? So
yeah.
Are you going to do this now? Are you going to do this format? You're going to push for this?
It's just I had a prior engagement. So for this one, it just didn't work out. But yeah, I'd love to do it at the future stops. And, you know, it's really just like a training piece. You know, if you could do 3 50s in a row, and I think it's like 10 minutes, you know, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So, you know, there's just definitely a training piece involved there.
And it starts to get into that mental game of, hey, if I can do it 3 times fast in a row and you can only do it once, you know, it kind of starts to play that game.
That's very true. Yeah.
I'll tell Grevers you said that. All right. Hey, man, I really appreciate you stopping. We just kind of grabbed you as you were going by, but
for sure.
I'm a huge fan. I really appreciate everything you're doing.
I'm a big fan too.
Yeah, all right, buddy. We'll see you soon. See you at the next stop, right?
Thanks for having me.
All right, later on. And now we are going to hit you with some highlights. Look at the women's 100 freestyle. Right here, and this is the 50 wall. You have Margot Greer and Taylor Ruck. And Taylor Ruck has done, she's one of the young Canadians that came out and did a really good job on the relays in 2016. You can see she's fighting here. Margot Greer did a really good job of racing her as well. This is one of those tight races, and I think if you can be under that 35 barrier right now for the women in the 100 freestyle. But Taylor Ruck moved back up to Canada. She was swimming in Scottsdale, Arizona, moves back up to Canada, and it's really her and a few other youngsters are starting to show up for Canada. And there's your results. Taylor Ruck taking the win in that 53-51. 100-meter backstroke. This, another youngster coming out. This is a name you're going to start to hear a lot, guys. Reagan Smith, she's swimming a boatload of events while she's here at this stop in the Pro Series. But I mean, she's just, what I love about her is how bouncy she is, how fun she's still fun to be around. This is kind of that bright, shining face that we want to see on the U.S. national team, and she's doing a phenomenal job. Here she is coming into the final, but to go under a minute right now is amazing for her. She's been it a couple of times, but that's one of those barriers in 100 backstroke that you absolutely have to do. She's made big finals before, and now she's adding that experience that she needs with that talent. And I'm telling you, Reagan Smith is going to be a threat. Last highlight of the night, we got the 200 IM individual medley. Chase Kalish, guys, he's in a league of his own. I mean, he did the exact same thing in the 400 IM, but maybe a little bit further ahead of the guy behind him. But I mean, he's just in total control. He went a 157 in this race, but what I love about it is that he's doing exactly what Ryan was talking about in his interview. Coming into this meet tired, but finding a way to go fast. And that's going to give these guys that mental toughness, that edge when they get to the end of the year, where it really matters, and they're going to have that racing. But look at this dominance by Chase, and he did it in the 400 IM. He's swimming other kinds of races, but the 200 IM, another one of his bread and butter. The world knows when he swims this event for sure. There's your results right there. Chase going 157. He was the only swimmer to go under. Will Lacone, famous around the Austin parts for his swim. And if you can't hear my voice, I'm starting to go a little hoarse because the excitement around here is getting so much. Tier did a phenomenal job at finals tonight, giving everybody a foam cowboy hat, having a blast. Make sure you come out tomorrow night. You have no excuse. Saturday is the night to come to this meet. We have the shootouts of the 50s, the 400s of the stroke, where strategy comes into play. USA.org, get your tickets there, come here, we'll have thunder sticks for you. It's going to be worth your time. I'm Vernon Hanson, this is Austin, Texas, the first stop. Good night, everybody.